Alright, got a little bit of work done. I had a little bit of time, so I ripped out that front input shaft seal, threw a national seal in the front. That way I know it's in good shape. I had a little RTV around the outside of the seal just to kind of make sure, because it was a little bit wet inside that bell housing, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from, so I cleaned everything out with some brake clean, retorqued all the bolts for the front pump, changed that input seal, got the new torque converter seated fully all the way up in there through all the clunks. Actually went in about as fast as any torque converter I've ever installed, so it seems like it has quite a bit of up and down play on that input shaft, which I think is normal, but seems a little bit loose, but I'll have to get it all put together and see how it runs. Again, that was another one of those, gets the transmission rebuilt at a rebuilder shop, and you never know if you're going to get what you pay for. So it was supposed to have all new bushing, seals, everything replaced, but you know, it is what it is. I had borrowed that engine cradle because I was going to do my run-in, checking the valves, or checking the new rocker arms, rear main seal and all that on that cradle, but I ended up just running it on the stupid engine stand. It was just as easy. But everything, I still haven't tackled them stupid oil filter relocation lines. Those things are a nightmare, trying to get them where you need them and get everything tightened up. But at this point, I think I've got most all my fittings back in the block from the run-in, because I had just plugged my oil filter, oil pressure outlet. I had to plug my front heater hose, the heater hose fitting in the water pump, and of course remove that belt during that initial break-in runs. But I was just having to look down these ports. You can't really see. I need a flashlight for that. That gasket match I did on these heads turned out just darn near perfect. I mean, you look down inside the runner and you don't see any overhang, you don't see any gasket or anything. It matches perfectly between the intake and the head. But I got the new valve covers painted, got them on. They're those super thin Moroso lightweight aluminum valve covers. Apparently, originally they were gold anodized. Somebody had painted them, not even John Deere green, I'd say just a dark forest green. So all I had here in the shop was some gray, I think it was industrial enamel or something. So I just threw 2 or 3 coats of that on there. I did want to point out that I checked these exhaust ports, and they're much drier. I don't know, I put a large puff, because I tried that Bonami powder trick, blowing it into each spark plug hole to see if I could get the rings to seat a little bit better. And basically what I did was make like a small rig with a blowgun and a clear hose, where I could just dip the hose down into a cup of Bonami powder, and every time I pulled the trigger it siphoned that Bonami out and blew it, kind of like you would like a media blaster or like a soda blaster head or whatever. And I literally just blasted each cylinder with that Bonami powder, and it made a big difference as far as the dryness of the exhaust ports. And I'm half tempted to blow another application into these cylinders before I put it back in the car, just to kind of help it a little bit more. But I mean, that was a really good trick. I had learned it years ago, or heard of it rather, years ago when I was building traditional Pontiac V8s, racing and playing with those. There was quite a few people that had recommended doing that Bonami to get stubborn rings to seal, or if you had rings that kind of glaze the cylinder, you could use that powder and make it work. So anyway, I was starting to get everything tore off of it and replaced, so that I can throw this thing back in the Blazer, get that transmission hooked up, Really, at this point, all I have to do is fix those stupid oil filter relocation lines and get them to quit seeping, and it'll be ready to go. So hopefully we're closer to, I don't know, it might be 350 horse. I mean, if it's not, it's not gonna kill anybody, but it would be nice to gain another 20-25 horse out of the upgrades we did. But anyway, we got a little bit of an update on that torque converter. It is installed in the tranny, new seals, everything's torqued on the pump, ready to put in, and hopefully we'll get that done here in the next week. So thank you for watching.